Well, he created a character called Anthogs, half ant, half hedgehog. And then he created them with different colors, the colors of the rainbow, because to him, the rainbow symbolizes joy and happiness. And so he made Anthogs the different colors of the rainbow because they are going to bring joy and happiness to people.
Let's bring happiness to the kids. I'm Tristan Dani.
So I'm Alex DeLeon. I'm the father and co-founder of Anthogs Productions. So Anthogs Productions, really Anthogs, the name Anthogs, the characters Anthogs, the colors Anthogs, all started when Tristan was in elementary school. So kind of look at the story of Tristan. He, has autism, diagnosed at the age of 2, and one of the things the very first thing he drew was baby Einstein from memory. And right then and there, we're like, oh, so baby's going to be an artist. Well, then he ended up getting a hold of Play-Doh in school. And then he started creating all different things with Play-Doh, loved Play-Doh. And then kind of fast forward, he ended up in middle schools when he ended up seeing Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, he created a character called Anthogs, half ant, half hedgehog. And then he created them with different colors, the colors of the rainbow, because to him, the rainbow symbolizes joy and happiness. And so he made Anthogs the different colors of the rainbow because they are going to bring joy and happiness to people. And then that's when he started to make puppets, Play-Doh, Anthog characters, and then started to create the voices, and then also with part of the characters, but then his own little movies with the Anthog production or Anthog characters, and then wanted to create little movies and would record using like a camera and stuff like that, make little movies from that. It's a long process to go ahead and do this, but you have to be persistent because you're doing this for your child. And we all know they're going to grow up and they have to be independent. So taking advantage of all of these things that are out there, and there's a lot, but people just don't know about it. But once you get with the right groups, the right people, and you find all this information, you can now start to plan ahead of time and help them to help create a future for them. And one thing I will say, I remember doing this journey. It was like yesterday. He was 10 years old, and you think you have all this time. And now here we are today, and now he's 22. So things happen pretty quickly. So when you think you have all this time, it still goes by pretty fast. So you want to take advantage of the time that you do have, start planning, start leverage the support system they have. Most importantly, I go back to it, just start planning ahead of time. If there are things we could do different, we would have done that different. Fortunately, we did have enough time to still plan and prepare, and we're able to work with Texas Workforce Commission, like it says, these programs to help Tristan in the training, to help him in the future. But would we have done things a little bit different? Yes. Once we created the company, Anthogs Productions, and that's a story within a story on that. So his teachers, when he started doing it in middle school, showing Anthogs and doing the pictures and everything would always, now all of a sudden everything was Anthogs. And then the teachers would tell Jami and I, my wife, that, hey, we need to do something with this. And then lo and behold, a few years later with Anthogs Productions, well, I ended up submitting for a trademark in February of 2020. And then, of course, with the whole pandemic and everything like that, turn of events ended up happening in our lives to where, well, I was deciding, well, I'm going to go ahead and now launch the business. And so in April of 2020, Anthogs Productions was born, and we ended up launching it. And everything that we did was 95% the website, the color of even the Anthogs Productions, the name, the way it was written, trying to find the font, all of that was from Tristan and inspired from Tristan. And I wanted to make sure finding a website developer, designer with how we wanted to do things was going to be all based on Tristan, and trying to make that website, our story, authentic to how Tristan sees it. And that's how Anthogs Productions was born. The name, the trademark, the colors, the fonts, all of that. And once we created Anthogs Productions, we ended up launching the website in October of 2022. And it was around that year when we ended up, Tristan wrote the book. It was like a year into making, and it's from his personal experience of going to Gaylord, Texas. Loves going there every year. We go every year. We've been going there for like the last 7-8 years, and he likes to go into the ice because they have a theme with ice every year. And so he ended up making and writing a story and making a book, which is an Anthogs Christmas, based on the Anthogs characters going to the Gaylord Texan. And based on that story, I don't want to give too much away because I want you guys to go ahead and look and read about the book and what the story's about. But that was when we launched in October 2022. That's when we also launched the book, and he is currently published and it's on sale there in Amazon. And eventually, what he's going to want to do is start creating a movie for an Anthogs Productions, an Anthogs Christmas. Yes, so another book. So he's created an Anthogs Christmas, and then last year we launched Tristan Blues Forest Inclusion based off of his experience going to Camp 75. And then this year he's going to summer camp called Camp Camp, and it's going to be based off of that one. It's still working on the title, but I believe the title is going to be, was it the Anthogs Summer Camp Adventure, something like that. Yeah. So that's the next book. So he's going to summer camp here in August. And what Tristan loves to do is, you'll see the illustrations, he likes to take pictures and do videos. And then when we go and create the book, he'll draw using Adobe Photoshop, and he'll draw his characters on there to create part of the illustrations of each book and each story and what he's doing with each one. So all of them are created based off of with Tristan using those programs on each book. And so when you go to our website, you see, I believe it says Anthogs, the Anthogs team, and you click on them, and then you'll see basically it's this, and it's the different characters that are all there on our website that we've created. And so each character kind of has their own name that Tristan created. So don't feel offended if you didn't make the list. But like we got Preston Red, we got New Larry, we got Manny Green, we got Jami Magenta, Maria Orange, and some of these people are just people that Tristan has met throughout his life. And like I said, don't be offended if you didn't make the cut. And some of them are from his best friends, and I do want to mention that as well. There are 3 people, a lot of special people in his life, and Tristan growing up, there was a couple of really special group of teachers through his career helping him out, and one was Miss Homer early on with his socializing and everything because of his autism. And this is why we're such a big proponent, big support fans of teachers, because Mary Lee was another one of his teachers, brought him in with socializing, bringing him with a group of friends. And if it wasn't for those group of friends, they wouldn't have introduced Tristan into Special Olympics, bowling, Special Olympics, basketball, and then also their youth group, which is what that second book was created based off his experience. All of these things could not have been done without the support. And I go back to the teachers and then the socializing. And then of course, he does have 3 best friends out there that have been so supportive of Tristan, and they invite him anywhere he goes. And so, their friends are his friends. And so, especially with Camp 75, Special Olympics, once again, because when now he's visiting with those people, he's socializing, and he's been going to Camp 75, I believe, like the last 10 years. And now he's a volunteer, from a participant to a volunteer. He's been volunteering for the last, since he was 18, so like the last 4 years. The little Anthog puppets that we created, which is right here from his idea. And so these are the puppets, but then he created the rods with the puppets. Turn around just so they can see. And then he creates those, what do you call these again, rods?
Rods, arm rods.
Arm rods. Go ahead and wave hi. What does Tristan Blue say?
Tristan Blue, the Anthog leader. And to bring happiness to the whole world.
Then who's this one?
Feathers. Bring our feathers.
Then who's this right here?
Princess Guardian. Bring a Princess Guardian.
Just how long does it take you to make a puppet? In a Anthog's puppet?
Anthog's puppet.
How long does it take you to make one?
Hours.
What is this one called?
Grandpa Anthog. We got Katie.
And then who's the one in here?
Make a dark gray. Make a dark gray, the nemesis leader.
So Tristan, how does Tristan Blue sound like? What does his voice sound like? Say something about be his character.
Let's bring happiness to the kids.
And then what about Princess Guardian?
Anthogs. Let's enjoying happiness.
And then who's this?
Feathers.
What does he sound like?
It's very dangerous at the time warp. Manny.
And then what about Mega Dark Gray? What's his story? What does he want?
He was just spoiling. He's stealing the crystals and bringing sadness. He's the villain. The Anthog villains.
So Tristan got into animation in, what was it? Yeah, it was in high school at Vista Ridge High School. And he was taking graphics design and animation class, and loved it so much because that's what he wants to do. Not only the animation, 2D, 3D, but also with puppets and clay animation. And all the teachers very supportive of him, and he just loved it. He took off with it because he wants to make his own movies. And as a matter of fact, there's a couple of video clips on our website, anthogs.com, that Tristan did during high school. My wife and our message to every single one out there, whether your child is disabled or not disabled, has autism, doesn't have autism, 100% support and encourage what they do. And then that's what we did with Tristan. We 100% supported and embraced. Now, mind you, I did mention earlier, the teachers were the first ones that saw the potential. So everyone, please support our teachers. They know what they're doing. And because of that, we were definitely open to it. And once my wife and I were 100% devoted to do this and then put into Anthogs Productions because we believe in his ability. And I say this to every single parent, that everyone I ever talk to, whether people support or embrace or know what you're doing or don't know what you're doing. The point is, know what you're doing. You know what the message is. You know what you love. You know what is passionate with your son, your daughter. 100% support them. Doesn't matter if you have 1 follower or 1 million followers. Support that. That's first and foremost. And then most importantly, whether it's 1 person or 1 million people, get your message out. Because we know what Tristan's message is, and his message is exactly the way we have it here. It's the rainbow, joy, and happiness. And the slogan that we have trademarked is also based off of what he said, spread the happiness, which is exactly what he's doing. Tristan, the great news and the support of Vista Ridge High School, so they have what's called a Self 18 Plus program after they graduate high school. And so Tristan was in that program, and they allowed Tristan to continue his animation and graphic design class 2 years after he graduated. So because of that, I mean, and like I said, we are 100% truly supportive of Vista Ridge High School and everything that they do for all of their students. And that's just firsthand experience for my wife and I. And Tristan would go there twice a week, and the teachers, like I said, all very supportive, and just continue with his potential, allowed him to use Anthogs, with his assignments and everything like that, which is, as I mentioned, some of the videos is there in our website that we ended up launching, not only his, but then some of the other students as well, to share some of the talents that they have. And once they were able to go ahead and do that, unfortunately, the 2 years was over with. We had to find another alternative. And working with TWC, Texas Workforce Commission, and helping them find Tristan a training program, a little bit of a journey, but long story short, we ended up finding Dani Animation that Tristan is now, since February of 2025 this year, he's been going, doing learning, training, video animation to help with his aspirations of becoming an animator, and particularly with Anthogs. But if Anthogs, but that doesn't work out, he does have a fallback plan. With collaboration with Texas Workforce Commission, the person that works there, Amber's great person, we're just kind of looking different areas throughout nationwide, throughout the United States, to see who would fall into the criteria that we would look for, especially, for Tristan, what he's able to do. And we were actually looking at places here in Central Texas to see if they could do online, or actually in person, but couldn't really find anything. And lo and behold, Dani Animation is located out there in California. And fortunately, things all happen for a reason with COVID, which allowed them to work remotely and learn remotely. And my wife and I were having to help him, etc. And the great news is, we kind of feel that helped, because when we found Dani Animation, they're 100% remote, but they're online. It's through Zoom, and they're able to teach online. And that wasn't something new for Tristan. As we all know, particularly people with autism, and like for our son, there's a little bit of a change in dynamics. But because he was used to it, he did that during COVID. You can kind of say it's been a seamless transition. When we actually started to create the story and the business for Anthogs Productions, I didn't really truly know more about it until I started going more into it, and then started asking Tristan, why did you create it? And just as I found more information about it, and part of it in his messaging, there's also, I feel, a spiritual inspiration from that message. And especially when I asked him, well, Tristan, why did you really create Anthogs? Why is it these different colors? And he tells me, and it's all on our website as well about Tristan, and he was like, because, it's the rainbow. It's the colors of the rainbow. I'll go, really? Well, what's the rainbow mean to you? Well, the rainbow is joy and happiness. Oh, okay, joy and happiness. And then, well, why is Anthogs the different colors of the rainbow? And Tristan's, basically quote was, because Anthogs is going to bring joy and happiness to people. And right there, I had tears in my eyes, and shared that with my wife. And I'm like, we have got to share this story with everyone else and inspire other people, because it doesn't matter what kind of art that they have, but they're expressing their passion through art. It can be puppets, it can be ceramic, it can be written, it can be music, it can be anything and everything that's within that genres of art. And that's what Anthogs Productions does. And they can write poetry, they can write stories, they can put all of that on our website and share that with us. And most importantly, and I send this message out, whether it's one follower or you have 1 million followers, but our website, our platform allows you to even have it to where it's intimate as family and friends. As long as you have those family and friends that support your child, that's all that counts. The best way I can describe it is, if you're thinking about it in the business side of things, take that chance, and obviously make sure you always have a fallback plan and everything like that. My wife and I always talked about that, but it just felt like the right thing to do. And Tristan's message, his characters, and like I said, it all started with the teachers. They believed in him, and then we believed in him, and then we ended up creating, and the reason why we created Anthogs Productions was initially it was just for Tristan and what he was doing with Anthogs to spread joy and happiness to people. But Anthogs Productions, based off Tristan's inspiration and motivation, it's now a platform for everyone. It doesn't matter your disability or without a disability, it's for everyone to go onto our website and share your passion, whether you want to showcase your art or you want to sell it. And you can go to our website to go ahead and do exactly that, and you too can help spread the happiness. And that's why we created Anthogs Productions, inspired by Tristan, because he's doing that with his art. We want to share everyone else's passion and share, like I said, and have them spread their happiness with the entire world as well. And we are nationwide through the 50 states. Once again, I got to give great kudos to my wife, Jami, because what I'm about to tell you all of this would not have been possible without her being vigilant and being proactive. And what I mean by all that was she would reach out to other parents and they would all tell her, go to this group. And there's like 2 or 3 main groups for parents to go to. And that was powerful because it's like a support group almost, but if you have any questions, anything like that, people have already paved the way for other parents. And because of that, I mean, people just don't know, especially if you're new parents, you don't know anything about this and what kind of support you can receive, what things that schools are supposed to provide you. I mean, I can go on and on. And because she was able to do all this and other people and speak with other parents, lo and behold, she would tell me, and then we would start doing those things that she found out about it, and that helped us pave the way for our sons, and particularly Tristan, to go ahead and find out about TWC, get some additional support from teachers, the Self 18 Plus. I mean, I can go on and on with, there's so much support out there and so much information that a lot of parents, especially young parents, don't know about this. So first and foremost, reach out to parents who've been there, who have kids already. More than likely, they've already in that support group. They will invite you into those groups. And that's going to be the first and most important thing that's going to help every single parent out there. So kind of like the other big thing with messaging with parents is not only like the groups, chat groups and everything like that, but also finding those types of events, particularly Special Olympics. That is huge. That was like the biggest thing with socializing with Tristan, to help meet new friends, new people, and also just finding a group of people who are willing to go ahead and bring them to their environment. And that would not have been possible without Sam, Miles, and Grant, his 3 best friends. And they wouldn't have introduced him to Camp 75, to their youth group. And like I said, he's been going there for the last 10 years, loves it. Yeah, at North Point Church.